So Guru, what a great tool that you can use in your classroom. It's got all this pre-made up content for you. It's made up by some of the best teachers around. It's got some quizzes already made up sometimes. Great digital content, fully customizable, and will fit very well for your blended learning classroom. Let me show you how to get it all started and maybe save yourself a little bit of time and not have to reinvent the wheel. So the first thing you want to do is go to gurulearning.org. I'm going to share my screen with you right now. Okay, so here's Guru Learning, and you don't need to remember one new username and password. All you gotta do is hit sign up, then sign up for Google. Since I've already have up an account, I'm going to go right into my screen. But when you guys go in, it's probably going to ask you to pick your class, pick your subject, and grade level you teach. So here's a couple ways you can access some of the content. Here you can just search for a topic that you want to look up. I love this area here. If you are one of the core curriculum teachers, you can just kind of focus in either area that you teach and they'll focus it. They're fairly standards aligned. We did notice that, for example, in 6th grade, middle school, they will study medieval cultures. Those will actually be found in the 7th grade course. So you just have to kind of play around and explore it a little bit. But a lot of them are pretty much their web quests and things already done for you made up. Another way you can search for by this topic is if you hit that little drop down arrow, this is for not so much the core curriculum teachers. This is going to be for the exploratory teachers, arts, PE. They'll be able to get some things in here, computer teachers as well. You can also search by standards that you can go through. So being a former art teacher myself, I want to check out the arts and humanities, and I'm going to see what they have in the Renaissance. I'm going to search. Okay, now you'll notice on the side, these are all my little icons that I can filter through all the subject matter. Okay. Some of these materials that they'll have will either have a little green check, which would typically mean that it is tablet friendly or iPad friendly. But if you see that little Ghostbuster symbol icon, that means that it may not work on a tablet. Some of these things were not totally accurate. You may just have to just check them out for yourself. If you teach on an iPad, then you want to make sure that you can access these on the iPad. You can filter down the things on the side as well, and they have additional icons. So we have videos, we have web pages. The interactive things are really neat, but they are probably more going to be Flash-based, which will go better on a computer. Some of these will have pre-made questions up for you, maybe some podcasts, maybe some songs. I can filter it down this, and once I uncheck it, it's going to give me a lot more resources already. I can also, since I was a middle school teacher, I'll focus more on my grade level that I had. These little stars come in handy too, because you would notice that the star system is made up by teachers and how they rated them. And I can just uncheck the ones that I know have not been rated at all and kind of help me filter through the stuff as well. So I have some nice things here. They got some good reviews. And now on the side here, I was making up a master collection. So a collection is almost kind of like a unit plan of everything that's been set up. And right now, these are just resources. It looks like this is just a website, and this looks like it's just a text. If I want to drag this over, let's say I was developing a unit plan on some things, then I can reorganize it any which way that I want. So I can add that into it now. If you want to add a whole collection in, a collection is a pre-made unit on the Renaissance. And a lot of these are already kind of done. And I can see that these have 5 resources in there for me already. And sometimes it will also have icons, but I want to go with the one that has quite a bit of resources in it. And maybe I'll add that up here. And I'm going to make a copy, so I'm going to dash Mr. G so it becomes mine. Okay. Now if we want to edit it, this is the collection. Another way that you can get to a collection is when you go up top, you click the word collections. These are all the collections that I've made up. Basically, a lot of these are copies that I've made of ones that I found online or even shared with some other people. And in this collection, it's broken down so I know it has 6 pieces of content. It looks like there's a video to watch, a website to explore, another website, some sort of interactive thing, and another website. If I go to a new resource, I can add in a variety of other things, and then I want to add it in. So let's say I know I have this great resource on Discovery Ed. I can add that URL in there, give it a title, description, give it a category, and you can add it in. If you had that file of a PDF file or a picture, say on a computer, you can upload it here. Give a little thumbnail picture. The Google Drive thing is nice, but unfortunately, it does not have a search engine bar in there. So what you might to do for Google Drive is if you open up the file first and then go back to it. And sometimes your suggestions will give you some stuff. So that's a resource, but here's a question. We can do multiple choice, multiple answer, true, false. I want to save myself some time, and I'll ask the basic question. Which country is G? You can add an image. I like that you can add the image from a URL. So maybe if I were to find a picture online, I can get it through the URL like I would, but I'm not going to work on that right now. I can also upload it directly from my computer. So you can get pictures into it. You can add multiple choices. So I can do France, correct answer. You can explain it that way in case the kids get it wrong. They'll know what they did right or wrong. You can help filter down for other teachers to find this question later by what type of skill level it is, and also standards. And then you would add it. And let that process. So now I have 7 pieces of content in this. And there's my question I just added. I can reorganize it whatever which way I want, change the order around. If I need to go back and edit it, I can add or remove the narration is nice. What this will see is right before my students were to take this question, a little pop-up box of me will come up and say, make sure you go back and do the reading. We can see what that looks like in a little bit. And when I share it, sharing it, let's say I'm going to publish it. People around can share it. The sharing could be more for like if I want to have people collaborate on this with me. And but I really want to be able to assign it so I can get that data back from my kids. So when I assign it, I pick my class, and I made up that one the other day, and I can get a specific due date and any directions that they would need. And I would assign it to that group. Now they'll kind of find it on their dashboard when they come in for my students. The collaborator is very cool because this is how you can get multiple teachers working together on something. They can be gathering resources. You can save time and search things together. This could also be a great little group project because you can add 20 collaborators, so you can have a whole class involved in finding resources for one subject that you're looking up. All you have to do is just find out the email address that they sign up their account with. And that's why I would heavily recommend that all teachers and all students sign up with a Google account. This way you'll probably have that stored somewhere, or you can easily ask the students or the teachers to type it on this line. And once they are invited, they get an email, and it will also appear in their collection. So for example, this was shared with me the other day. Okay, so I can add collaborator. Now I want to publish it, so it's going to be good to go. So everyone around the world can find this in about 24 hours. And in the meantime, let's play it. So the play mode of the collection, this is kind of what your students will see after they click on the assignment. And we can put comments on there so they can get some feedback on there. And when I'm ready to go, I'm going to study. It says that video is going to open up a new tab. I would hit open a new tab, and there will be a video to watch. Some of these may be out of date, so you definitely want to preview them before you go. And remember that star system I was telling you before. This is how you can rate the resources that are available. When I'm ready to go on, I can go to, I would open a new tab, click on the tab, okay, I read the article, sure, paid attention, yep, because we know everyone spends a lot of time going over this stuff. And we got another episode. Oh, it says subscription is expired. I would have to go back and edit this before I send it to my kids, or I can remove it later because they can't use that resource. Okay, and this is that little box I popped up and I was telling you about before. That's the direction. So you really want the kids to pay to listen to when you have a little comment like this pop up, this little narration thing. So have that in. I pick my answer. Let's say I thought it was France. I would submit. Oh, got it wrong. Maybe Italy. Submit. Okay. What about France? Try it again. So you can see what that data is going to look like later. Move it on. New tab. Okay. Gotcha. And I'm just going to skip to the end. And we end it. Now this is what my data looks like. The teacher and student will fairly see a very similar thing. The kids will get a review like this, and the student also gets it. I'm sorry, the teacher will also get it. The teacher will see more of an individual and a whole class view. You can see how long I spent on each resource, which is very nice because you can get some nice data-driven decisions from this to see how long that they spent on individual things. And then when we go to scored questions, you could see that what I picked and how many times I tried and how long I spent on it. And notice that it made a B because it was incorrect. If I had left it correct, I would have gotten a yellow box saying correct after multiple attempts because I did try 2 times to get it. And of course, you can email this, print it off, download it, how many times I tried, and if there was any open-ended questions, you can do that. Now, let's say I'm a teacher and I found this collection and I can share it with someone else, maybe store it to a folder I can use for later. But maybe I was searching online and I found this collection, but I don't like the material in it. I can remix it, and when you remix, it makes a copy for yourself. Save it. This could also be a good way to differentiate. So maybe you can have a one collection for maybe your honors class, and then maybe a collection for more of a special needs class that you might have. So maybe my class wouldn't want this video or website, and I want to just remove it. And boom, it's gone. Maybe I want to add in, change the order. Maybe I want to add in some more interactive stuff that I can search for. But this is how you can make it fully customizable to meet your students' needs. So if I go back to search, I could show you what it looks like from the other point of view. So before we kind of just search for the topic, now we're going to go down to these pre-made collections. And let's check out Ancient Civilizations in Social Studies for 6th grade. Notice on the side here, you have your 3 main areas, and each one has a main lesson. And within each lesson, there are 3 separate collections. So if I know I was studying the Persian War next week, I would want to check it out for the 10 resources in this collection that's previewing for me. I'm going to go to this collection. I would preview it. I'll go through, there's that narration. Now, once I make a copy of this, her photo will be replaced by mine because I'm their teacher after that. So I have to say, I got it, go through the resource, sure, read that, sure, going through. So you notice how the teacher is really trying to get you to pay attention, and I am not right now. On the website. There's also a Gooru app for the iPad. Didn't work that well for me, especially with the Discovery Ed content. So I would recommend you use Gooru on your website as much as you can. Okay, so who defeated the mighty Persian? All right. I'm going to go with the Persians. Submit. No. Anatolians, no. The Athenians, no. Oh, I got it. I can explain to me. All right. And I go on. We're just trying to get a couple wrong answers in here. Move on. All right, now I'm going to end it. All right, so I have this up now. Again, you can see how long I spent individual things. Go to my questions, and you can see what I got right or wrong. It took me 3 tries. And I guess I didn't keep it, didn't I? Hit submit. Again, I can remix this collection that I liked it and I previewed it, or I can just share and I can assign it right to my class as is. And hitting this green bar up here will take me back. My classes would be the next one. If you need to make a class, you would just hit my classes and you would create a new class and give it a name. And done. All right, then it will automatically take you to that page. This is what the students will see. You can customize this picture if you wanted. It's kind of similar to Edmodo or Google Classroom. Same thing, we'd write this code up. I would probably maybe copy it, put it on Edmodo, maybe write it on the board, Google Classroom. You can see that I have nothing assigned to these kids yet. And I have no details. I can assign a collection right from here. And I can get all my collections that were saved on my computer or through the website. There it is form. I can assign another collection, maybe on gladiators. That's going through. And then maybe a third collection on free writing. A lot of these are great because a lot of them are already pre-made up for me. So after I get the kids doing it, I could see the my data from them and how much the students had used it. If you want to change the order around, you just hover over these little circles here and just change the order of what you want it to be. So maybe I want gladiators to come third. No, now I'll automatically change it up for you. If I mess up, I can delete this class. And this is where you would see all your students. I would probably just keep it in this option. If you had their emails, you can write it up. You probably won't be able to post this link on Edmodo because it's a bit.ly link. It's a short URL. It'll probably come back as rejected. And to show you another way of what the data will look like, I would go to reports here to get all of them up. But we can also go back to the home screen. You can see it's a sample report. This is going to be much more of a detail of the student. These little faces are what the kids can pick on how they felt. They'll basically be, I understand it, I kind of got it, or this little guy is meh. I sort of got it, but I'm not too sure. You know how many questions got right? You can easily make up a small group based on that data alone. And then we can go by our color codes up here on how many attempts they got, if they got right or wrong, what they picked right or wrong, and how long that they spent on each lesson. I notice these little smiley faces are optional. The kids have to pick them if they want to. You might want to encourage them to do it as much as you can because, again, you can also filter down by these results and see what's the average reaction. If this student didn't understand it, then they should be able to get the question assigned with it. But that's just a great way to get your data from there. You can also get it in a whole summary view, and then there's that common reaction. And we can also get it doing this way on their time spent on your resources. So that is Gooru in a nutshell. Please be sure you check out the little handout I made in the body of this video. And you can also be able to make sure that if you are watching this video on YouTube, that you look in the description of the video, and all the time codes are in there to help you jump through, get to the part that you want. So hopefully you can use Gooru in your classroom. I want to help you be able to get some data from your students, make up some data-driven decisions in your blended learning classroom. Till then, have a great night.